Good evening. The city is conducting tonight's council meeting using a hybrid model, in person in the council chambers and using Zoom. This meeting is also being live streamed through YouTube. Access links and additional information can be located on the city's website and on the meeting agenda. I call to order the meeting of April 18th, 2022 at 6 o'clock. How about that? We have no clock in here. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now we will have our invocation, and I welcome Pastor Pam Osborne.
Will you pray with me? Gracious God, in a time when we are seeing the beginning of new life and spring, as we receive the gifts of rain and sunshine, we give you our thanks. As leaders of this community, may we, in the decisions that we make, also remember that there are those in our community who are still living under the darkness of poverty and violence and grief. And may our decisions be sensitive to all the needs of our community. Amen.
Okay. So now we will have a presentation. I will
Actually, Mayor,
Yes.
would you like me to call the roll?
Yes, I sure would.
Thank you. Potato,
Here.
Brown, Cole,
Here.
Hochstetter,
Here.
Newman,
Here.
Reed,
Here.
Stewart.
Here.
Okay, we're all here. Hooray, hooray, we're all here. And now we'll call on Chief Maricki.
Great. Good evening, Mayor, council members, guests. Very special night tonight. And it's my privilege and honor to stand before you tonight as your police chief to introduce two of our newest additions. So first, I'd like to introduce Chase Benton. Chase, do you want to come up? Chase is our brand new entry-level police officer. He started with us on April 4th. Chase was raised in Elma, Washington. Actually went to high school with one of our current officers, with his parents and his three siblings. Chase currently lives with his wife, Raven, and their three children in Yelm. Prior to joining Sumner Police Department, Chase worked as a corrections officer with the King County Department of Adult and Juvenile Detention for the last 6 years. Prior to joining King County, Chase served our country, enlisted in the U.S. Air Force from 2008 to 2015. He served as a security specialist and became part of the elite Phoenix Ravens, where he provides specialized security at hostile airfields and bases. While serving in the Air Force, Chase has been deployed to over 50 countries and has received multiple medals for his service. We're very fortunate to have Chase joining our department. He will attend the Basic Law Enforcement Academy either May 3rd or May 10th. We don't know. Today was the decision day and we haven't got the email yet, but will definitely be completing the 720-hour Basic Law Enforcement Academy in the coming weeks. So welcome, Chase.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Next, I'd like to introduce Ryan Keller. Ryan's here with his family, his wife and little one around the corner. Today is actually Ryan's first day on the job. Just moments ago, Mayor Hayden, myself, and our staff had the privilege and honor of swearing him in and give him his oath of office as a lateral police officer. So Officer Keller comes to us with experience. He worked with the Black Diamond Police Department since 2017 up until he accepted this job here. During his time at Black Diamond, he was awarded a life-saving award, 2 triennial awards, and he was their 2020 Officer of the Year. Being a public servant runs deep in Ryan's family. His father, Dave, who's here tonight with us, is a well-respected veteran deputy with King County Sheriff's Department. And his uncle, Jim, is currently the assistant chief with the Bonnie Lake Police Department. So very deep roots in serving our communities. In fact, Ryan was born and raised here in Pierce County, graduated high school at Rogers High School. And he and his wife, Mandy, currently live in the Buckley area and have 1 child and another one on the way later this summer. Ryan also served our country in the U.S. Army from 2010 to 2017, serving in the Airborne Infantry Regiment and also the Cavalry Regiment. So a lot of experience in service to both our country and our communities, and we certainly welcome here to Sumner. So welcome, Ryan.
Welcome. He gets extra points for having a cute baby. Thank you. All right. Now we are lucky to have our very own Tina Priest, the Executive Director of Stafford Suites, and Susan Bryant, the Sumner Senior Center Program Director, to give us an update on the Senior Center.
All
Take it
right.
away.
Hello, good evening. If you'll bear with me just a moment, we'll get our slideshow set up. And Susan right here. There we go. And share. There we go. Can everyone see that all right?
Yes,
I'm going to put it in PowerPoint mode. Yes, please.
we can't not see it.
It's pretty big there, huh?
Yeah.
All right, I guess they still can't see us. Okay. All right. Well, good evening, Mayor Hayden and distinguished City Council members. Thank you for allowing us to speak with you this evening and update you with what's been happening at the Senior Center for the past 15 months. As you all know, our center abruptly closed March 11th, 2020 due to the COVID pandemic. The pandemic may have closed the doors to the center, but it opened the door to many new creative activities, programs, and it prompted us to find new ways to provide essential services. Many of these you saw in our presentation back in November of 2020. And what we'd like to do is update you with what's been happening since that time. So I will switch the slide. There we go. First, I'd like to thank our team, Sumner Senior Center. We have Susan Bryant, our program director, leading the way. We have Linda Goodwin, who's our administrative assistant here. And we have an on-call receptionist, Diane Pate, darn it. And then we currently have the bus driver position open, and we are looking to fill that. We're advertising for that position right now. So if any of you know any bus drivers, send them our way. We also have volunteers, Carol Davis, Crystal Paul, Judy Kimball, and Jeannie Jacobson, with whom we couldn't do what we do without them. And our Catholic Community Services cook, Peggy, and Susan will tell you a little bit more about what's been happening with Catholic Community Services as we go. And then you'll see our kitchen volunteers, Carol Davis, Loretta Farnsworth, Judy McLean, Lynn Nerschel, Elaine Snellman, and Vicki Yarnell. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Susan.
Okay. I'm going to skip down a couple things there that we just wanted to say that the Sumner Senior Center staff helps the CCS by taking the meals every morning and to take their reservations, and so that no senior gets turned away. And this has been really challenging at times, but rewarding knowing that we are meeting our seniors' needs. Also, we'd like to thank our CCS cook, Peggy, and all the kitchen volunteers, as Tina just did, for all of their help in preparing the meals for our seniors. And so the meal numbers are growing as we continue the reopening process. And as you can see, we've served over 23,000 takeout meals since COVID began. And then we are also serving around 10,000, where we were serving around 10,000 in-house meals prior to the pandemic. And that number has not changed much since we began delivering the to-go meals. I didn't know if you wanted to. There.
Oh, sorry, that was
That's
my cue to say something. This tells us that the decision of continuing serving hot meals, nutritious meals to our seniors truly are needed and appreciated by our seniors. I know that was a difficult decision back when we closed the senior center at the beginning of the pandemic. We knew that we wanted to meet their nutritional needs, and Catholic Community Services really came through for us with providing wonderful meals for our seniors. And we'll be talking a little bit more about that later in the presentation. But I just wanted to say kudos to Jason Wilson and Jeff Steffens for meeting with us to help us make that decision together at that time. I think it's proved to be a really wise decision, and the seniors really took advantage of it over the last 2 years.
So here we show the takeout meal delivery month to month, and you will see our partnership with CCS still continues to be a great one. And our number of meals per month has continued to follow the normal trends. But in December, we had a little drop in meals because which is uncommon, but it was due to the center being closed for a week due to our snow that we had. And then moving forward to the first quarter 2022, you will see we have strong numbers for the first quarter. We had a couple short months, January and February. And then this has been important to us to not only meet our seniors' nutritional needs, but to keep them cognitively stimulated as well. So we have delivered daily word puzzles and handed out tons of jigsaw puzzles. We just had somebody drop 99 puzzles off to us the other day. So we wanted to address their social needs as well. So our volunteers wrote little words of encouragement and put stickers on their takeout meals. And we also made many, many welfare calls, thanks to Diane Petty. Our staff greeted,
Oops, sorry,
that's
too
okay.
fast.
Our staff greeted everyone with a smile with our eyes, since we had to still wear our masks, but we tried to visit with each member as they came to collect their meals as well. So, and then here we have this slide.
She's gonna fire me.
Let me just go back one, sorry.
Sorry.
That's okay. So here we have, with the help of the Sumner Food Bank in 2021, we offered a free farmers market every Tuesday and Thursday. So last month, with the reopening of the center, we reduced it to once a week. They all come early Tuesday and can't wait to see what the food bank brings for us around 11:30.
I just want to point out how wonderful this has been for the seniors. I know this is unscripted, Susan, sorry. But I mean, you can see the plethora of things that the seniors, or that the food bank has brought over to the senior center. And it makes it so easy for our seniors who are already driving up to receive a hot meal, for them to get some of the other staples they might need, like milk and eggs and bread. So it's really been a very appreciated addition by the seniors.
Yes, they love it. And then here are the heroes from the Sumner Food Bank who helped make the farmers market possible. And so we want to shout out to thank you to Anthony, the director, Daryl, Jerry, Bill, and Jay for delivering the food to the center. And they also pick out special items for us. Like they brought ice cream bars, and they bring ice cream so we can make root beer floats and chocolate sundaes as well. And then we continue to enjoy multiple partnerships with businesses and organizations in our community. And here are just a few ways that some of our partnerships benefit our seniors. So we have smartphone classes again, and our members were so excited to have the seniors from the Sumner High School come back in and teach them how to use their phones. And thank goodness, because Linda and I had spent a lot of hours showing our lovely seniors how to use their phones. You know who you are. So that was much appreciated. And also we have free coffee from our partner, Delano's Coffee. And we want to thank Memory Haven and Dale Shoemaker, real estate broker, who provides treats every week for our members. And Franklin Place and Stafford Suites contribute to our bingo prizes. So thank you to Diana from Franklin Place and Angie from Stafford Suites for the great candy and cookies that the bingo players just love. And Linden Grove provides a birthday cake and a gift card for our monthly birthday drawings, which is coming up in May. And then we have our Christmas contributions. We would like to also thank a few special people for donating items to our Christmas gift bags. We had over 100 bags to hand out. So the SSC bought the large reusable shopping bags and filled them with many fun things. The Sumner Senior Center Advisory Board donated $10 Fred Meyer gift cards to put in each bag. Caring Thoughts, Encouragement for Today, Vicki Nelson donated homemade zippered pouches with a variety of fun things inside. And then a Sumner resident who wanted to be anonymous dropped off over 100 warm fleece blankets. And we had many more, and thank you to all who participated. And a few highlights from 2021, first quarter 2022. We hired a new administrative assistant, Linda Goodwin, who is doing an outstanding job and came on board in the middle of the pandemic and now is in for a new journey of seeing the senior center open all the activities. Linda thought we were busy before we opened, but I told her she hasn't seen anything yet. So hold on and get ready for a fun ride. Thank you, Linda. And then also another highlight is a few years ago, the Sumner Senior Advisory Board set up a $500 scholarship fund. Each year, the Sumner Senior Center awards a high school student who has made an impact at the senior center. And Mia Searcy was the recipient of the SSC scholarship last year. And I was so impressed with her talents like cheerleader, captain, and public service projects. And she is interested in pursuing either law or criminal justice. And she entered Grand Canyon University last fall. Here are a few of the special events we held outside and some of our musical guests. Some of our entertainers we saw a few times last year because they were the only ones brave enough to stand outside and sing and play in the wind or the rain or the snow. Thank you to all that braved the elements with us. And then thank you to AARP Foundation and our tax preparers, Ron, Terry, Bob, Paula, Richard, and Sherry for providing free assistance for our members. We had over 100 this year and 60 last year, all with safety protocols in place. Changing of the guards at CCS. So Sue Barrera retired in April 2021 after 34 years with Catholic Community Services and 5 years with the Sumner Senior Center. We will miss her, but we will see her from time to time. We are happy to have our new cook, Peggy Hooey, step into her shoes. She is amazing and makes it all look so delicious. Then we had Lee, the pharmacy manager from Safeway, come and give flu shots for our seniors last year, and we had over 40 participated. And these next two slides are just some of the many special events and holidays that we had that we celebrated outside for 15 months with amazing entertainment and great food and fun goodie bags. And then the next few slides are all the activities that we have now back inside. Yay. Yes. So some of these exercises began last year, but since last month, we've added 2 more, Stay Fit Forever and Chair Yoga. We used to do yoga, but it was on the floor on mats, but they love this chair yoga now, a lot better for them. And then this slide shows pictures of activities that we resumed when we fully opened March 11th, exactly 2 full years to the date of closure. So we're excited to see all the lovely smiles since wearing masks are optional now. And then here are the pictures of some card games, and one that they are really excited about is bingo. And Tom Lynn, who is also on our advisory board, heads up the bingo with his wife, Chris, and they are just happy campers to be back in the building. And then services back in the house that our seniors are ecstatic about are hair cutting and foot care. Some of our up and coming attractions are the drive-through poker with 4 other seniors. That's happening this Thursday. And it's been a great success the last few years, with the grand prize being $150 this year. And then we have a movie matinee back in April 25th. We're going to show American Underdog. And then we have a trip planned to the Emerald Queen Casino. And then we have wood carving coming back up in May if anybody's interested. And then this is just another quick Thank you to our wonderful volunteers that come in every weekday to prepare the meals. We are like family, and we are getting more kitchen and SSC volunteers as we continue to add more activities and services. Thank you to our staff for decorating, and our librarian, Judy, who comes in and organizes all our books in the library. It always looks amazing. And then this is just a quick view of our first coffee talk back in the house from the food bank director, Anthony Apellis, who came over and shared what the food bank is doing. It was very impressive. And we are really looking forward to our upcoming coffee talk with Mayor Kathy Hayden on Monday, May 2nd, and Police Chief Brad on June 6th. So mark your calendars. Okay. And then next we have our wonderful heroes with the City of Sumner, Derek Berry, who supports us with all our maintenance and landscaping needs. We want to give Dan Davenport kudos for installing new mirrors for our exercisers to use. Linda and I like to call him our secret agent man because he always sneaks in to fix our lights or new kitchen faucet or toilets after our seniors have flushed their phones down them. Not once, but twice. I've worked with him for 5 years and found out he knows a little bit about everything. We can call upon him to help us out for whatever we need. We appreciate Dan the man so much. Then we have Dan Gates and Tom Bachman for making our landscape and plants look wonderful. And Tyler, who shapes our trees on the property. He is amazing. They also help us out and take down our 8-foot Christmas tree and de-icing our pavement for our seniors so they won't slip and fall. Then we have our great IT team, Brian, Rod, and Patrick, that are Johnny on the spot, fixing our phones or our internet problems right away. And lastly, thank you to Carmen and Joseph for updating our monthly newsletter out on the website to get the word out what is happening at the Senior Center. Tell me on this one. We wanted to share this last slide with you to show a few people we lost during the pandemic. Quentin Clark, who lived around the corner, used to bring us veggies from his garden in the summertime. Yvette Young, who worked in the kitchen as a volunteer, and she was still trying to dust my desk right before we closed for COVID at 93 years old. We also lost Al Nelson, who lived next door, and he was legally blind, but he always made it over for lunch, and we would assist him to his table. Then we have our former mayor, Leroy Goff, who was one of the first on our advisory board at the SSC and instrumental reviewing our bylaws and a longtime server of this community, as you all know. We enjoyed seeing him riding his bike during COVID to pick up his lunch. And lastly, our wonderful dancer, Joe Welch. He grabbed me my first month here and made me dance to When Irish Eyes Are Smiling with him. I said to Melissa, the director at the time, "Is this in my job description, dancing with everyone?" She said, "Yes, and especially with Joe. He has a special place in my heart." Joe also was our designated prayer warrior for everyone and would always stand and say the prayer before each meal began promptly at noon. Thank you again for having us.
And that's our presentation for this evening. Do any of you have any questions for us?
Any questions? Any questions for the girls? Not seeing any.
Oh,
What?
Mr. Brown.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for all you do.
Oh, thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Yes. Councilmember Botetto.
Yeah, I was wondering, do you take any books or any donations of things like that?
We do take books. We try not to take any hardback because we don't have the space for it. So we just end up taking it to Granny's attic.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we take anything like 10 years or 15 years old. Yes.
Okay, good. All right, thank you.
Any other questions?
We don't check books out from the library. It's need a book, take a book,
Yeah.
have a book, give a book.
Yeah,
And so
exactly.
it's just kind of a rotating cycle with the books so that there's always something new and fresh in the library for everybody.
Good.
Very good. Thank you, girls. You're
Thank you
doing
so
a great
much.
job out there, and we'll see you on May 2nd.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Looking forward to it.
Yes.
We're gonna pack the house just for you, Mayor Kathy.
Okay, Councilmember Hochstetter, did you have something to say? No, you were just saying goodbye?
I love your puppy. Oh, she can't. I don't know if she can hear me.
She looks down like she knows you're.
Okay. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Thank you.
Okay. Phew. Okay, moving on, consent agenda. Will the clerk please read the consent agenda?
Item number 1, 160th previous sidewalks construction contract. Item 2, resolution number 1625, approval of Heritage Capital Projects application submittal. Item 3, approval of the minutes from the April 4th, 2022 regular meeting and the April 11th, 2022 study session.
Do I have a motion from Deputy Mayor Hochstetter?
Yes, I move we adopt the consent agenda.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded from Councilmember Potato. It has been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Would any council member like to remove any items off of this consent agenda? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Any opposed? Nope, passes unanimously. All right. We have no public hearings tonight, and we have no unfinished business. So we'll move on to public comment. The public is encouraged to submit their comments to the city clerk by email before tonight's meeting. Michelle, were there any comments received?
No, Mayor, there were not.
Does any public listening, watching have any comments they would like to say? All right, seeing none, we will move on. New business. So we have some appointments. The first appointment would be the Sumner Lodging Tax Advisory Committee, and we will be talking about Maylee Anderson, and I call on Carmen Palmer. So Councilmember Botetto, would you like to make a motion for Maylee Anderson?
Yes, I'd like to. I make a motion to appoint Maylee Anderson to the Sumner Lodging Tax Advisory Committee.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Yes, I'll second that.
Seconded by Councilmember Hochstetter. Now we have Carmen. Let me see.
There it is. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Before you tonight with a new appointment to the Sumner Lodging Tax Advisory Committee. Just like I mentioned 2 weeks ago, we appoint these every 2 years. All the previous other ones were reappointments, and so they happened 2 weeks ago. This one is a new appointment. But Maylee Anderson is by no means new to working with us on tourism. She, on contract, she is the marketing consultant to help Visit Rainier. That is the other large destination marketing organization, companion to Travel Tacoma Mount Rainier, who you already reappointed Dean Burke from that organization. So this way we have both of the large destination marketing organizations covering our region represented. They also both serve on the Pierce County Lodging Tax Advisory Committee that gets the largest chunk of our funding to allocate. So it's nice to have that consistency so that they understand, sometimes for projects, we're pulling a little bit of funding from Pierce County, a little bit of funding from Sumner to make them happen. So they get that consistency and that very regional, big picture focus to help keep Sumner in the forefront. Maylee has already sent me, even without serving in this role, she has sent me, travel writers I should connect with, suggestions. She's been helping us with some of our marketing campaigns. So I am delighted that her board agreed to have her spend a bit of her time assisting us on this committee.
Great. So is she here?
She is not. I did not see her in the thing. So I think.
Do we have any discussion with council on this appointment? Councilmember Hochstetter?
Thank you. As a member of the LTAC committee, I am really pleased with Carmen having recruited our newest member. I think she'll be a great addition, so I appreciate her joining our committee.
Great. All right, anybody else? Okay, any member of the public that would like to speak to this? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Brown,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Stewart,
Yes.
Hochstetter,
Yes.
Newman,
Yes.
Potato,
yes,
Cole.
Yes.
All right, unanimous. Okay, now we have a reappointment to the Cultural Arts Commission, Courtney Shore, and I call on Jason Wilson.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm your city administrator. I'm happy to come before you tonight asking for the confirmation of the mayoral reappointment of Courtney Shore to the Cultural Arts Commission. This is a 4-year term. Ms. Shore has served on the commission since 2018 and has been instrumental in all of the work with setting up Nights on Ryan. And she's just done a phenomenal job and looks forward to continuing that in the future. When she's not helping with the Cultural Arts Commission, she is a teacher at a local school and happy to answer any questions. And she is not here with us tonight.
All right.
I think this requires a motion first, right?
Yep.
It does.
Okay, I'll move to reappoint Ms. Courtney Shore to the Cultural Arts Commission. She joined the commission in 2018, and I think would be happy to continue her work again.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Yes, I'll second that, Mayor.
Seconded by Deputy Mayor Hochstetter. Now, do we have any discussion on this? All right, seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Reed,
Yes.
Hochstetter,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
Potato,
yes,
Stewart,
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
And unanimous again. Okay, we have one more appointment, and that is an appointment to the Design Commission. Dustin Madden. Councilmember Reed, would you like to make a motion?
Thank you, Mayor. I move we approve the appointment of Dustin Madden to the Design Commission for a term ending in April 2026.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Seconded by Councilmember Potato. Scott Waller, there he is.
Yes, and good evening, Mayor and Council, and thank you for taking the time to look over this appointment of a newest commissioner, and that's Dustin Madden, who is looking to join Sumner's Design Commission. Dustin's not able to attend tonight due to a prior conflict, but if confirmed, he'll be available for the first May Design Commission meeting. And Sumner's Design Commission reviews incoming development projects and provides important feedback to staff on how that project is able to meet the design standards that Sumner has. Dustin is a resident of Sumner and is currently the Public Works Director for the City of Milton. He has a background in landscape architecture and previous experience serving on Sumner's Cultural Arts Commission. And he has a passion for design and city codes and working on projects. So we feel that Mr. Madden's service on the Design Commission would be a great insight, and his experience would work well for that. And we would recommend his approval to this commission spot.
Thank you. Any discussion among council members? Councilmember Hochstetter, Deputy Mayor Hochstetter.
Thank you. Appointment of Dustin Madden is a great choice. He'll be a wonderful addition to our planning commission or design commission, excuse me. And I just really appreciate him giving us his time. I know he's a busy man with his job in another city and a family, but his expertise will be put to great use. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? All right, any public like to speak on this? I don't see anybody. All right, will the clerk please call the roll?
Potato,
Yes.
Newman,
Yes.
Stewart.
Mr. Stewart?
Councilmember
Yes,
Stewart.
it just turned
Thank you. Hochstetter,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Cole.
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
okay, we got them all. Thank you. Moving on to ordinance number 2816, amending Sumner Municipal Code 6.04 kennel license definitions and requirements. And we,
Right. I move to amend Sumner Municipal Code 6.04
thank you.
kennel license definitions and requirements.
Thank you.
Yes. And I'll second that.
Seconded by Council Deputy Mayor Hochstetter. Police Chief Maricki.
Council. Excellent. So before you tonight for your consideration is ordinance number 2816, if adopted, which would amend Sumner Municipal Code 6.04 that addresses our kennel license definitions and requirements. As part of its ongoing review, legal determined and our staff at Metro Animal Services that the city would wish to clarify the definition section of our existing code to accommodate our current kennel licensing process. So that's the ordinance for your consideration before you. And I did present this to our Public Safety Committee on March 16th, and it received a due pass to come before you tonight for a full council consideration.
Great. Do we have any questions for Police Chief Maricki? Council Member Deputy Mayor Hochstetter? I cannot get that down.
Chief, I read through your ordinance, and the one question I had was, if someone is boarding other people's dogs in their home, are they required to get a license?
I don't believe so, no. They're not
Okay.
doing it as a business or occupation.
Okay, I just wondered about that. So otherwise, I think it all looked great. Your adjustment was needed, so thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Hochstetter,
Yes.
Newman,
Yes.
Potato,
Yes.
Stewart,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Okay, unanimous. Resolution number 1619, Park Master Plan Approval, Siebenthaler Park and Bennett Property. And we have Administrator Jason Wilson.
Thank you, Mayor. We do need a motion in a second before I can
All
proceed
right,
this time.
Councilmember Stewart, would you like to make a motion?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I move that we approve resolution number 1619, which would approve the master plans for Siebenthaler Park and the Bennett property.
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Newman. Now we have City Administrator Jason Wilson.
Thank you, Mayor. And I know the agenda bill says that this should be Community Services Manager Derek Berry, who sends his regrets tonight. He was unable to be here at the last minute due to illness. He and his staff did an amazing job on this. It's a culmination of over a year's worth of work. So I know that he would have wanted to be here tonight to see this through passage. So over the last year, the city has been working with consultants in the community to complete master plans for the Bennett property and Siebenthaler Park, which describe the existing conditions, the overall future vision, and proposed programming. A master plan also includes the infrastructure and circulation plan needed to support those activities like walkways, parking, lighting, and restrooms. Ultimately, a master plan is intended to guide future implementation with more detailed design and funding to follow at a later date. The report tonight documents the master planning process for Siebenthaler Park, as well as the unimproved Bennett property. These describe the existing conditions, the overall vision, and the proposed programming. Staff is recommending the adoption of Resolution 1619 that formally adopts these plans and allows us to move forward with future funding opportunities.
Thank you. Any member of the council like to speak on this? No? All right. I'm seeing none. Any member of the public that would like to speak on this? See no public. Councilmember Stewart.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to give a congratulations to Derek and his staff for such a job well done. This is, as Jason mentioned, this is a culmination of a lot of hard work. And the thing that hit home with me is the amount of work put into getting public input. Pictures don't give it justice, but there was a lot of good pictures in the packet showing the open house and a lot of other communication with the public. And that is just an excellent. And I like the concept of the master plan concept and how we now have the ability to do a master plan for our parks. I just think this is wonderful for the city of Sumner. Thank you.
Councilmember Cole.
Yes, I was just curious. So the Bennett property doesn't have a park name. At what point does it actually get a park name, and what's that process?
Thank you, Councilmember Cole. We could start naming that park at any point now. Now that we have a master plan, it helps us understand what the amenities will be there. So I think now would be an appropriate time to start having those discussions. It's been a long time since we named a park, so I don't believe there's anything formal on how we do that. That being said, I know that there's already been some early discussions with the Parks and Forestry Commission on some potential names, and some early discussion of what kind of community involvement we should be doing to help us gather potential names and ultimately decide on one.
I do also know that Derek took it to Daffodil Elementary and had some first and second graders come up with some names that they thought was really cool. And he's got some stories to tell about that, but I'll save that for him when he gets back. So. All right. Anybody else? Seeing none. Michelle, would you call the roll?
Newman,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Potato,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
Stewart,
Yes.
Hochstetter.
Yes.
All right, we're hitting the big ones tonight. Now we move on to ordinance number 2817, updating electronic signatures. And it looks like we have City Attorney Andrea Marquez.
Thank you, Mayor. We need a motion in a second, please.
I'll make-
Go ahead. So Councilmember Cole, would you like to make a motion?
Yes, I would. I move to approve ordinance number 2817, updating electronic signatures.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Councilmember Stewart.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening. Andrea Marquez, your city attorney. Before you tonight is ordinance 2817, and this updates the city's electronic signature code. So by way of history, we have been actually utilizing electronic signatures since 2019, when council first adopted electronic signature code. But in 2020, the state updated its Uniform Electronic Transaction Act, which repealed RCW 19, which our code refers to, and replaced it with a whole new set of state laws under RCW 1.80. So this code, or this ordinance before you tonight, is purely a code cleanup. We need to refer to the appropriate state law. And we're also doing a couple of other minor language tweaks to remove the reference to the DocuSign software. We don't want to be pigeonholed by code to one particular software provider, and we want to leave that option open should another alternative come up.
there is no issue with the current software provider, but we don't want to have that in our code. So we use electronic signatures for virtually all city business at this point, other than some mandatory wet signature deeds in real property transactions. So all of our ordinances, resolutions, contracts, agreements, they are all signed electronically, and it has expedited city business dramatically. It has been a wonderful, particularly during the pandemic, a wonderful option for staff and the mayor. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Any questions for Andrea? All right, seeing none. Any member of the public? No public. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Cole,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Stewart,
Yes.
Hochstetter,
Yes.
Potato,
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
All right, unanimous. A public key? Oh, oh, okay. All right, off to council reports. Councilmember Boteto.
I'm just pleased to see that we have more police have been hired, because I know it's been a challenge to get good candidates, and so I'm pleased to see that. And then it was interesting to hear all the activities going on at the senior center. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Cole.
Yes, so on Saturday, April 9th, I had my first opportunity to participate in a parade, the Daffodil Parade. It was a lot of fun. We didn't get rained upon, and it was just the coolest fire truck to be on. So anyway, I love that and just wanted to say thanks.
Thank you. Councilmember Newman.
Nothing this week.
Okay, Councilmember Brown.
Yeah, I really liked having more police. As long as they're not behind me with their lights on.
Deputy Mayor Hochstetter.
Thank you, Mayor. Today in my box in the city council area, I received a letter from Eli Hill, the alternative high school here in Sumner. And it was about making your yard a wildlife friendly habitat. And there's a team of students there that are on the committee called Make the Earth Better Team, with their advisor, Ms. Denise McDermott. And I'm going to participate in this with them, and I'm going to be calling and asking more questions, so I know exactly how to do this. I think this sounds very fun, to make your yard a certified wildlife habitat. And then also I accepted Mr. Earl Stewart's challenge on planting a tree. I actually have my tree, but I'm being a responsible planter. I'm finding just the right location, because there's nothing worse than a tree that's planted in the wrong place in 10 years. So I've accepted this challenge, and I will do it. And I'm hoping to see other council members do it too. So thank you.
That's funny. Councilmember Reed.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of things. One is last week we did not have an ARPA committee meeting, but I did want to say thank you to our new commissioners and their volunteerism to help make and keep Sumner great. And I also want to welcome our new officers and thank the city and the council for its commitment to public safety.
Great. Councilmember Stewart.
Thank you, Mayor. Some of this is being repeated, comments from others. The Daffodil Parade was fantastic. I've ridden in the fire truck in years past, and I don't remember ever seeing that many people in Sumner. It was just wonderful. So thank you for that opportunity. Thank you for following up on the Arbor Day Challenge, Deputy Mayor Hochstetter. I did indeed plant another tree, and I've lost count how many trees are on my property, something like 35 or 40, but got a beautiful new tree. And let's see, congratulations to the new officers. Welcome aboard, and we're going to put you to work. I'd like to hear about the senior center. I might go there for lunch sometime, maybe help serve. I think I qualify as a senior, but I don't know. And then the Eli Hill thing that Deputy Mayor mentioned, I'm planning to do that as well. I think that's a wonderful opportunity for those students to be involved with this and to be a part of the community. So thank you.
Thank you. City Administrator Jason Wilson.
Thank you, Mayor. Coming up in next week's study session, we're going to be meeting virtually only, so we can do some diversity, equity, and inclusion training that is scheduled for the full 2 hours. And there will be some breakout rooms. There's some handouts in your council packet that'll be coming out later this week for you to review ahead of time. At the next regular council meeting on May 2nd, we'll be having a proclamation for Police Week and Peace Officer Memorial Day, a presentation from East Pierce Fire and Rescue. You'll have a resolution adopting an MOU related to the opioid settlement funds. Also, you'll be considering a resolution which amends your council rules and procedures, an ordinance amending pet license fees, and adopting the council's 2023 through 2024 strategic priorities. Also coming up later this month on April 29th, we're going to be hosting a large-scale evacuation and preparedness exercise for short notice Lahar. This is going to be one of the largest evacuation exercises in the country, and it's a partnership between the city of Sumner, Puyallup, Ording, and also those school districts that are represented in those communities. So on the morning of the 29th, you can expect increased traffic impacts, including temporary road closures, primarily east of Valley Avenue. More information is on our website, and if you have a student in a Sumner school, you can expect some additional correspondence from the Sumner Bonnie Lake School District as we get closer. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Well, seeing none. So I want to thank everybody for joining us at the Daffodil Parade. I was happy to see the sun and so many smiling faces. It was my first parade as mayor and Councilmember Cole's first parade as council member, and she tosses candy like a pro. Also, the YMCA, part of the city's agreement with the YMCA is that Sumner residents get to use the Y 4 times a year, even if you're not a member. Check the city's spring newsletter that's arriving in your mailbox and for your voucher, and give the Y a try. With that, meeting adjourned.